know about relationships, but you're wrong. Listen, there's no magic bullet. I'm teaching life skills.
When you're sick, you need medicine. It don't always taste good, but it'll get you better. You need this medicine. It ain't gonna always taste good, but this is what you need. Men and women, bottom line, we need to have the conversation. Your partner wants to give up control, but only if you know how to drive. This is about being the best you could ever be, whoever you are. I don't care if you're a man, a woman, LGBTQ, space aliens. I'll save anybody. I don't care. I'll teach a hedgehog how to have a threesome.
What do you mean by that?
Look, you don't have to listen to me, but you're wrong.
Listen, I know I'm great. And I know you're thinking, Dante, there's no way I could be like you. But you could be me. You know why?
Because you know who I was? Before I was me, I was you.
Man School 202.
Better hear what I've got to say because you won't get it again.
I'm not an alpha male. I'm not a beta male either. I'm just a better man. Put your happiness first, because if you don't, they won't.
Yo, GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, What Would Dante Do? The Sexual Revolution Being Podcasted. And I am excited. What's up, TikTok? We in the building. As per usual. What up? What's going on, y'all? Waiting until everybody comes in. Everything's shut down temporarily, so I'm trying to get it up, get it popping. What's up, my people? We on TikTok in the building. We are on YouTube, Instagram, trying to get it together. Let me get the phone lines up and popping. I'm in a good mood. I really wanted to go live today because I'm very close to heading out over the pond, go see my little man. I'm doing a lot of traveling, and I'm getting ready to get my stuff together. So I wanted to go live specifically before I get out of here. So there's that. Real quick, anybody in the comments, please give me a thumbs up, please, if the sound is good. We're gonna go a quick hour. What's up, Ange? How you doing? Dimitri, what's popping? Let's go Cards 04. Let me get a thumbs up if y'all hear me good, please. If y'all hear me, give me a thumbs up, please, in the comments. Y'all hear me? Okay, cool. Let me make sure the phones are up. Angela, do me a favor. Call me on the line. I'm gonna put the line up. I want you to call me on the line. I'm gonna say hi to you because you always in the chat. Call in. I want to just check the lines. Call me up and say hi. As everybody comes in, everybody's coming in on TikTok. Angie, call me on the line. You know what it is, 929-269-4922. Just call in and say hi. Just want to make sure the phone lines are working. It's 929-269-4922. I'm gonna try and go live when I'm out in the UK, but I'm not sure internet wise and whatnot if I'm gonna be able to do it. So there's that. Wanna take as many calls as I can today. Because my people, for the TikTok people that are on TikTok, watching me on TikTok, the number's 929-269-4922. If you wanna call in, you got a question, I'm here, ready to rock and roll. Angie, call me. What's wrong? Don't take me that long don't take that long to call me. Let me hear. Thank you. Phone lines are open. Phone lines are open. Hold on. Yeah, lines are open. Call in Angie 929-269-4922. Just want to make sure the phone lines are working. Wanna get it in a little bit. I wanted to get a live in before I start traveling, and I didn't know, just getting tight because I'll be out in at the Wilbur Theater in Boston on Saturday. Be opening up for Godfrey, so I don't know if I will be around like normal, but I just wanted to get it in. There's a few things I wanted to talk to. Thank y'all so much for supporting, man, and supporting and helping out. Y'all are the best fans ever. Oil Per, I just started. Shout out to Angie. Shout out to Frinker3. Thank you. There you go, Ange. I hope this is Ange. Let's see. Hello. What's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Angela, my brother from another mother. What's good, Big D?
What's up, Ange? How you doing? I just wanted to check the phones. How you been?
I'm good. No doubt. You sound clear as day. You all good.
All right.
Thank you for doing the live. We really appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, thank you so much, sweetie. I mean, if I don't speak to y'all before then, you have a good holiday. Make sure that is.
You too. Safe travels. Give your little man a big squeeze for us.
Absolutely will. Absolutely. I'll post some pictures with him and stuff. I can't wait to see him. Thanks,
No
Ange.
doubt.
You're the best. You're the best.
Take
Later.
care, babe.
All right, so y'all know the lines is open. The lines is wide open. Any phone calls y'all got? Any questions y'all got? Let's get them in before I go. Can't promise you how long I'm gonna go tonight. I'm a little fatigued. I gotta get packing and cleaning and all kinds of stuff. So there's that. I one thing I want to say is it's what's interesting is I want to say that I think that there's a lot of guys who do relationship stuff and they give relationship advice, and I think what the content that we put out is so different in that I'm considering mental health. And what I mean by I'm considering mental health is I'm considering the fact that people have been through so much trauma. A lot of times we think that those things don't that don't Ollie, okay, I don't know that Ollie, not oil. Sorry, Ollie, my bad. I don't think that people take into consideration the fact that people have mental trauma, and in the process of having mental trauma, people are trying to navigate relationships without even considering the fact that they have extensive trauma. We got a call. Let's go. Let's see what we got going on. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, it's James from Kansas.
What's up, James? How can I help you, bro?
Oh, I'm doing really well, actually. You helped me get over a breakup, and now I'm going on a bunch of dates, and it's going really well. I do have a question for you.
Sure, I'm glad. First of all, I'm glad I can help you with that. I'm glad that things are looking up. Did you start out by laying the 5 bricks, or did you just jump in?
Yep, I've been laying bricks. The last time I called in, you told me I needed to be more direct, so I've been working on that.
Okay.
It actually helped set me up some dates last weekend, so that was all real well. I have a question though, as opposed you're seeing like multiple different people, like should I tell the girls like right off the bat that I don't want a relationship, or should I wait until they ask me?
I think you can I think you can wait to tell them, because to say to them I don't want no relationship, right, is to make the assumption that they want one. Do you understand?
I gotcha.
So it's sort of like Okay, like I saw this online where it was this girl, smoking hot girl, and this guy, he comes over, he goes, miss, and she goes, listen, I got a man. I'm not interested. I have a boyfriend. And he goes, look, you got a flat tire, right? And it's like, and she goes, oh, okay. Could you help me? Fix the tire? He was like, hell no, you got a man, right? Like, so do you know what I'm saying? So my point is to the assumption that every woman wants you to end up in holy matrimony in a relationship with you is a little bit pretentious, and I don't think that, and I don't mean it where you're hiding it from somebody, What I mean is, you don't really know that. I don't think that guys understand that everybody that you go out on a date doesn't want to fuck you. And if they do want to fuck you, it doesn't mean that they want to have a relationship with you. I don't know, Jay, I don't know how long you've been listening to the lives and stuff, but I don't know if there was a time a guy called me up and he says, yeah, man, I went out on this date. He said, yo, it was a great date. And me and the girl had sex, and then she ghosted me. And he goes, yo, but it was a great date. I felt like we got along together. And I go, well, apparently not. Because if she did, she wouldn't have ghosted you, right?
Yeah, I feel you.
Or how about this? Or maybe she just wanted to smash and dash. I mean, I think we as men, we think we're the only ones. Women they like sex too. The difference is, I always say that sex to a man is like pizza. Like, it's sauce, it's cheese. Even if it's lousy, it's still pretty good. And sex to a woman is like egg salad. You gotta be in the mood for it. It's gotta have all the right ingredients. And if it's spoiled or left out too long, somebody's gonna throw up. So I think we have to take that into consideration. Just our premise that every woman wants to be in a relationship, and they might want to be in a relationship, but every woman wants to be in a relationship with you is just not so. Here's the thing: you don't want a relationship, right? But would you want a relationship with a girl who wants to cook and clean and take care of you and fuck you, but wants you to sleep with other women, or likes women and wants to have threesomes? Then that would be a relationship you would be interested in, right?
Yeah, I'd be stupid to turn that down, wouldn't I?
I mean, not necessarily if that's not what you wanted. I mean, I did a live Tuesday, and a guy called me up and he goes, look, I want to date with the intention on getting married. So if you're talking about, absolutely, I'm a Q. If you're talking about, it all depends on what you want. And this is the difference about the content that I'm not judging you about what you want or what you don't want or whatever. I mean, we can have a discussion about it. I could open your mind up to some perspectives that you may not have thought about, but you get to decide what your happiness looks like. That's the great thing about it. And you could decide to not want a relationship until you find some. First of all, I don't think that let me be clear. I don't think anybody should want to have a relationship. Yes, you want to have a relationship, but you should be focusing having a relationship with a specific person who has a specific moral standard or ethical standard, who wants the same things with you, because just having a relationship is just not enough, And I think we got to explore that. So make sure the girl is. Listen, here's something else. And any of the women I've ever been with in my whole life, I never met a woman who wanted a relationship and didn't say something, didn't make it clear. That just doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. If she wants a relationship, what's she going to do? Where's this going? I don't, what are we doing? What do I call you? I mean, you're going to get that every time. And if she doesn't, if she's not asking for a relationship and y'all are dating, it's because she don't want you. That's what I tell guys all the time. Never ask for the relationship. Because if you are like, you ever see these guys who do a flash mob and then propose to their girlfriend and then the girlfriend turns them down? I mean, the audacity to be in a situation where somebody's turning you down and you were unaware that this person was going to turn you down. I mean, what were you listening to? You feel me?
Yeah, I
And
got you.
and you might meet somebody who really knocks your socks off and you want a relationship. So until you're in that situation, here's what I would say. When you want the relation, don't say anything until she does. And don't and when they ask you, then just be honest about it. Okay?
Yep, sounds good.
Also, but I mean, you got to be honest about it. And you have to assess that when the question is asked. Make sense?
Yeah, I guess that was my reason for asking the question too. I didn't want to come off as like deceptive that I wasn't making my intentions clear beforehand.
Yeah. I mean, women have a lot of times women have the the wherewithal or the ability to go, I'm not having sex with you. But anytime I've ever heard that, I'm like, I'm in my mind, I'm like, I'm not sure I want to have sex with you either. So like, calm down, you know, like you're bugging. And to think that every woman that meets you, that you're this prize. I mean, and don't get me wrong, you should be that prize and you should be the best version of yourself. But to assume that a woman even is able to has the intellectual or emotional acuity to know that or know what your value or that she's even made that decision in the first date is a little bit arrogant. You feel me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, brother. I appreciate you calling, man. It's good to hear from you. Good to hear that things are going good. Let me ask you a question. When you started laying the bricks, how much of a change was it for you? Like how long did it go before you started seeing a change in just your attitude towards things?
Uh, I I struggled laying the bricks the first day and day and a half, and then by like day 4 or 5, I was doing it within 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Just like walking into the grocery store.
Yeah.
Well, just being outside. Yeah, it was. So yeah, it turned me around like that. Yeah, I actually ended up getting laid laying the bricks. I was out shopping for candles,
Okay.
and
Cool.
yeah, I met some girl in the candle aisle at a Walmart, and we were at her place the next night. So
Right. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
just off a compliment.
how amazing is it that it changes your life so quickly? Do you know? Just something as small as that can literally change your life so quickly, right? It's insane.
Yeah, it. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm very grateful for your content.
Man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you listening, man. And call back, please. Don't forget to let me know what's going on. I always want to hear the success stories. And if you get into a funky situation where you're bound up and you don't know where to go, don't feel free to call in. And man, I appreciate you. Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, brother. Have a good night.
Yep, you too.
Man, I love that, bro. I love that. Don't forget, I believe him and I had a one-on-one consultation. Let me put that up real quick. One-on consult. If y'all want a one-on-one consultation, go to DanteNero.com, click on consult. If you need a one-on-one with me, we can talk and kick it. Also, let me see. Bonus content. Don't forget to sign up. Well, let me open the phones up. My bad. Yeah. Support the show. If you like the content, please like and share and click on the bell so you get notified. And if you really want to help us out, if you want me to keep doing this and keep putting this content out, please go to www.patreon.com/manschool202. That's a way to support the show directly, or go on my Cash App and send me some money. I appreciate y'all so much. Phone lines are open. Let me put the phone line up real quick in a hurry. Call in at 929-269-4922. That's what's up. Oh, come on, man. Is this doing this again? God damn it. All right, fuck, I gotta reset the phones. God damn it. I'm gonna have to set it again. Shit. Wasn't coming up. I apologize, y'all. I know y'all gonna be in my comments tomorrow telling me you gotta get your shit together. I'm trying. I need new equipment. That's what it is. I need new computers. So follow on the Patreon so I can get them, so I can upgrade the equipment. Line should be up in a minute. Yeah, I just pertaining to that, I think that we have a one-dimensional idea of how women perceive relationships. Women are just as horny as men. Well, no, let me not say that. But there's women that want sex with no attachment. There's women that want sex with some attachment and everything between, just like men do. And I think for us not to consider the fact that women and their sexuality is a monolith is just it's just not smart. It's just not true. Phone lines are open 929-269-4922. Call in. Yeah, there it is. Stop playing. Tell me I don't know my technicals.
Jesse? To accept, press 1. To send.
Jesse, what's going on? Where you calling from?
Oh, from Minnesota, Dante. What's going on?
What's going on, brother? How can I help you?
So I got some questions here for you. I listened to your last call, and that kind of made some more sense. But I just figured I'd tell you my situation. Been talking to this girl for about 2 months now.
Okay.
She lives like 2-3 hours away from me, right?
Yeah.
Long distance horse shit. Figured I'd give it a try. I've been talking. She's kind of what I'm looking for. Sounds like I'm kind of what she's looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to get together with her for like the last 2 weeks, man, and it just seems like something always comes up. And I'm kind of at the point where it's like, all right, well, if you don't want to, if you don't want to ante up, then
when you say comes up for you or for comes up for you or comes up for her?
Yeah. So like I'll have everything planned out, and I'll be like, all right, hey, what's, I'll holler at her in the morning.
Hold on one second, Jess. Hold on one second. Camille, if you want to call in, Camille, the number is 929-269-4922. You can call in. I don't actually do it live on TikTok, but it will happen soon. But yeah, so she's never really, you feel like she's never really making the effort.
Yeah. So like I said, this last weekend here, Saturday, we were supposed to hang out, and she was like, oh, she bailed out.
Why did she bail out?
I don't know. She said had some stuff come up with her family, and she was super busy. It was kind of a really vague question.
I mean,
I know I'd been talking to her for a while, and her mom had fractured her spine. So I was like, well, hey, you got to help. Yeah. You got to help the family. Like, I totally understand that. Like, I get it. I'm real family orientated myself. So
yeah, if you got a situation like there's a way I talk about dealing with this is an acronym. I always got an acronym, something to help. I call it, the acronym is RFF. Is reasonable, fair, and firm. Is it reasonable that she could have some problems where she can't connect? Absolutely. Is it fair that you could also feel a certain kind of way because you really been making an effort to see her? Absolutely. And and you should be firm about what your boundaries are, right? So, Doobie, thank you, brother, for the $5. What's up, Unc? Hold on, let me just read this off real quick. Doobie's turning 35 tomorrow. And I wanted to say I appreciate your guidance you've given all of us all the years. I got to get back to Brickland. Yeah, do that. Thank you, Doobie. Thanks for the 5. Next time, send it on the Cash App. It's much better. Because they don't take half 50%. Now, here's my thing: reasonable, fair, and firm. The thing about this is that is it reasonable that if her mom broke her back, that things could come up? Absolutely. But is she, when are you still talking to her? Are y'all still communicating?
Yeah, we're still talking. I mean, it seems different because, you know, like you said, like I kind of threw down the gauntlet and was like, hey, you know, like I like you, you know, we'll see what, you know, let's see where this goes. But like, if you're not interested, like, let me know so I'm not wasting my time.
And what did she say? What was her response to that?
She was like, well, I've been super busy and I'm interested. And, you know, I've been super busy, and I'm just like, well, you know, like,
okay, all right,
I get that. Like, I get life gets busy,
right?
But it's like, come on, man. Like, there was multiple days. Like, one day she took off. She's supposed to work Saturday. She ended up taking it off. She ended up just going out and getting drunk with her friends Friday night. And then she was too hungover essentially to come and see me. And I'm like, you know what, whatever. Like, I've definitely flaked on some plans before. I got a little too rowdy with the boys the night before. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So I let it go. And then the next time around, then she told me, she's like, well, I've just been so busy. And
okay. So here's what I would do. I would say, I would make it clear. It's like, look, I'm making an effort to see you. And the bottom line is I totally get that we're I totally get that we're in a situation where life happens, right? But also people have to people got to make an effort. And if somebody's not making the effort, then we can assume that they're not interested or they're not interested enough. And so it's okay for her to get busy, but it's also okay for you to move on. And I mean, you should be laying the bricks and moving on anyway, because you don't know how this is going to work out anyway. Right. So you haven't been on any date with her at all yet.
No, I haven't been on any date with her at all. And I can talk to just about anyone, any person at any point in time. Like I'm just good at talking to people.
Right.
I've never been really much of a closing kind of guy, but like the last couple of weeks here, you know, I've just been like, all right, well, you know what? She's left me hanging. I'll go talk to a couple other girls.
Hold on, Jess. Xavier, Karina, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate you, brother. You are the best. Thank you. Well, but here's my thing. We're in a situation where there's nothing. I mean, if y'all haven't gone up, y'all are talking on the phone. You said I'm even concerned by the fact that you've made up your mind that this is somebody that I want to see. Exactly, Xavier. What he's saying. So in the chat, they're saying that you're too emotionally invested, but you're emotionally invested in somebody who you haven't even gone out with. So talking on the phone with somebody is not the same thing as being out with somebody, and you have to cross that threshold. Every one of those thresholds is a level of intimacy. Yes, it's great that you're talking on the phone, but if she's not making an effort to actually solidify it with a date, and then you got to assume that whatever is going on is more important than you. Now, that it might be her mother and her mother's broken back, but it ain't her mother's broken back so much that she didn't go out drinking with her friends either, right? So she got time for that. And so those things are more important.
Right, so let me give you a little bit more there. So after all this happened, where she bailed on me last weekend, I was just straight up with her. Come Monday, I was like, hey man, like, you know, if you're not interested, fine, don't waste my time. But if, and I just left it at that. I didn't say anything else the rest of the day. She basically was just like, well, I am interested. And she texted me a couple more times and stuff. And basically, essentially sweet nothings. And I didn't respond the whole time.
Right.
And the next day, she texted me back, oh, good morning, this is that. And I was like, are you real? Like, are we just going to avoid the conversation that we left?
If she's going to avoid the conversation, then you just leave it. When she makes an effort to hook up, she makes an effort to move up to kind of escalate it. If she doesn't, then we have our answer,
Right.
I don't never go by what people say. I go by what they do. And if
right. No, and I'm with you on that. So like this weekend, like I told her, I was like, hey, I can come to your town this weekend. Maybe that'll be easier since you got a lot of stuff going on with your family.
Right.
And she's like, yeah, that'd be great. Like, well, I don't know, maybe this is, she's like, my dog's getting fixed Friday.
Yeah,
I might just have to be home.
I don't care. I don't give a fuck about your dog. It's done. Keep it moving. Say, listen, holler at me when you holler at me when you're ready to you got time, and just keep on moving. Right. Because we're talking. I mean, I don't care about you. I don't give a fuck about your dog. You know what I mean? I give a fuck about your dog. If I give a fuck about your dog, if I give a fuck about your dog, but I just don't give a fuck about your dog in general. If you stop talking to her today, you don't care about her dog, especially her dog's nuts. That's just not your concern. So, and if she's not making the effort, my concern about all of this is also that you're in a situation where you haven't even had a date with her, and there's already too much interest. You know what I mean? Like you're too emotionally invested. And if you're too emotionally invested, what's going to happen is you're going to come off as thirsty, which is why she's playing, she's playing. And sometimes you'll get people who just want the attention. They just want the attention of having a guy to talk to and text and bullshit. And they never wanted to go past that. So,
right.
So
right, which is essentially what I've been feeling from her the whole time. But I'm just like,
yeah,
like man, like I'm trying to give, I'm trying to
give the benefit of the doubt.
Kind of 3 strikes you're out. You know what I'm saying?
You also have to give. She don't know you. She doesn't know what a great guy you are and how dope it's going to be. And so you don't want to start shaking the line before you get the fish on the boat. So there's that. But if you can't even get the fish off the boat, if you can't even get the fish on the boat, you can't even sink the hook in, much less get the fish on the boat. You're wasting your time. That makes sense?
That makes sense, man. I appreciate it, Dante. I really do.
All right, brother. Appreciate you calling in, man. Thank you so much, bro.
Yeah, have a good one, Dante.
You too. Later. Yeah, that's a weird. You'll find that it's something where it's like an emotional, sort of like you become this fictitious emotional boyfriend, or this person, this emotional friend zone where somebody's dangling the carrot in front of you. But the only reason why we tolerate that is like what you said, Xavier, is that you got too much. You're too much emotion. You're too emotionally invested in something that hasn't given you any dividends. And not that it's supposed to be any dividends, but I'm using these terms as if it's a business, but it's not. What I'm saying is just, I don't want to be with nobody who don't want to be with me. And if you don't want to be with me, it's fine. I'll just find somebody else who will, because it's honestly that easy. And if you don't have the ability to just find other people, then we need to work on that. Book a session, and we'll figure out how to get you to that point. But you have to understand something. Social media gives a whole extra buffer where people can be dishonest. People can be dishonest about about whatever their real intentions are. And sometimes people just don't really know what their intentions are. That can happen as well. But there's a situation where if they don't know what their intention is, and you shouldn't be wasting your time. I I remember I had a client years ago, and he was dating this girl. I mean, he had dated this girl, and I mean, they were sleeping together. He had taken her to a couple of trips away, went to the Bahamas. I think they went to Spain together, and then he I think what happened was I was doing a radio show, and he met me after the show. He actually talked about it. It was oh, I know what it was. It was the podcast, the gosh, Keith and the Girl podcast I was doing. And he went on there before me, and he talked about this girl who was kind of like in and out, but they went to on multiple trips and stuff. And he talked about how he was frustrated because she wasn't really like, I think we know what it was. She smoked weed. He didn't smoke weed. He didn't like the fact that she was smoking weed. And she said he was like asking how should he handle this or whatever. And she heard the radio show, and she calls him up and says, "Listen, I need some time." Like, she was upset because he talked about it, and she was like, "I need some time." Now, we could say that she was upset because he was airing their laundry, but he didn't say her name, and it was anonymous, and it's not like this guy was the most famous person either. But the bottom line was, she was like, "Yeah, I think we need to take a break," right? And he called me up because he had heard me on their show afterwards, and I said, when somebody tells me they need to take a break, they need some time, right? I'm ready to throw a calendar at them. You can have all the time, because what there's always a subtext to what people are saying to you, and the subtext to this is, "Hey, you've done something that I'm offended by. So I'm gonna tell you, let's put our relationship, whatever we've been doing, on pause, right? And then I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna date other people. I'm gonna see what my options are. And if I can't find anything better, then I'll come back and see you." Instantly, what I told him is what he should say is, "Look, I'm done. I'm over," right? But she said that, and he called me up, and I said, but I didn't say he should talk to her. I said he should. You said okay. He said okay, and then he went on with his life. And so I don't think she spoke to him. No, he didn't call her a week, 2 weeks, because there's really no reason to talk to her, because she's saying, "I don't want to be in this relationship with you. What are you? At least not now." So he didn't call her. About 2 weeks went by, and I told him she was going to call him. One of the reasons why I knew she was going to call, because a woman can't have this kind of emotion just flailing on a flagpole. She needs to attach it to something. And the fact that she said she needed space and he didn't respond to her, apparently, let's be honest, she apparently didn't find something that she thought was better. So she texted him this really passive aggressive thing. She goes, "I guess you don't want to talk to me anymore." Now, let's analyze this in a real way. You called me up, told me you needed time. I said, "Fine, you take the time." And then, because I didn't call you and beg you to see you. I wasn't trying to see. Like, he didn't call her, say good morning or how was your day. He just stopped calling, because I said, why would you give somebody that kind of attention when somebody is telling you you're not good enough? And trust me, that is exactly what she's saying. You are not good enough. That's what she's saying. So because he didn't call her, 2 weeks went by. She hits him with text message. "I guess you're done with me." And I texted him. He texted me. She called me because he was sitting, even though he was trying to be cool, he was sitting on the text message. I happened to be on the phone or doing a consultation. I don't remember what exactly I was doing. I was like, "I'll be off the phone in a second," right? And then I said, "Send her this," and I told him to send her, "Yeah, I'm done. I'm done." lowercase I, lowercase DONE, because you want her to know that you are done, that this is very unfair, what she said. And then when he said, I'm done, she freaked out. And the text message just started. I was really caring about you, and I just needed a break, and I know I'm in love with you, and and it's it was just so, she was so pouring her heart out. And because I said, don't worry, I'll be off the phone in a minute. We can talk about it in a minute, right? Fast forward, he texts her that she could come over. So I hang up the phone, I call her back, and I call him back and I go, who told you to tell her to come and see you? She said, well, she said she's coming over after work. All right. He's a comic too. So, his work is late at night. I said, after your work or after her work? And he says, after her work. So she comes over. I said, okay, so listen, here's what you need to know. She's calling you because she didn't find any better options. The fact that you, and men do this all the time. A woman will say, give me time or give me space, right? And then go, and then she's blaming you for the breakup that she created. But if you go, baby, please, don't leave me. What you're really saying is, she's saying, I don't think you're good enough. And your response is, you're right, I'm not good enough. That you being with me is, I'm getting the best of the deal. And because I'm getting the best of the deal, all you do is confirm to her even more that she doesn't need to be, that you're not worthy of her time and her energy. And the fact that he didn't respond made her go, well, if he's not calling me, who's he calling? Which is, don't get me wrong, I'm aware of that this is all childish and stupid shit, but you have to understand that there's a subtext of a conversation there. And the subtext is that you're not good enough, and by you responding and begging and pleading and stuff like that, makes you confirm to her that she made the right decision in the first place by breaking it off or by putting it on pause. And so anyway, he came over and I said to him, do you like this girl? He says, yes, I really like her. I said, do you want this to work? He said, yes, I do want it to work. I said, then what you have, he says, but this is crazy. Like, this is the second time we broke up and blah, 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 da, 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 da. And I said, well, you need to decide what your non-negotiables are. You need to decide what it is you don't want to put up in a relationship. Number one, and he goes, well, I don't even know. I didn't even think about it. I said, well, it's interesting because I would tell a young guy, as he's dating, he should be already know what he wants to put up with. So I said, well, so I started throwing, I was like, well, how do you like this passive aggressive, we're done right? Her going, we're done right after she created the break in the relationship. He goes, that was fucked up. I go, how do you feel about her smoking weed? How do you feel about just everything that was an issue for him? Yes, exactly, Angela. She's being manipulative. And when she came in the house, I said, I need you, when she comes over the house, she's going to try and physically jump on you, right? Why? Because I go, do not have sex with her. Do not make out. You need to have a conversation. Understand something. Once anybody wins the law, when America beat Nazi Germany, they had to sit down at a table and decide what the concessions. When you surrender, there are concessions to the surrender, right? We don't just go back to where it was before. So I told him, so basically told her, I don't want to hear this passive aggressive stuff that you're doing, that you want to break up. If you don't want to be in this relationship, we cannot be in this relationship, but I'm not going to we do another pause. None of this is going to, I'm not doing a pause. If that's what we know, we could keep it moving. I expect you to express yourself instead of giving the silent treatment, all the things that he was having problems in the relationship with. She agreed. And then I said, after she agrees, you put her out of the house. You tell her, listen, I'm just not really into seeing you right now. I'll call, go home and we'll call tomorrow. Now, understand something. The manipulative aspect of this is to come in and have sex with you. Because if you have sex with her at that point in time, then everything that you said before before the hold on, put the restriction is too strict. Hold on one second. Hold on. The fact that the fact that you're doing this, if you have sex, what you're saying is she's transferring sex for a resolution, which is a tactic so that she doesn't have to be accountable for what. And then once you have decided, okay, from this point on, we're not going to do this, and this, then you ask her, and you need to get a verbal confirmation about that she understands. Do you understand? Yes, I understand. You want to hear? Yes, I understand. And then you send her home, because if you have sex, what you're saying is all the demands and all the things that are plaguing the relationship in the first place. If you have sex with her, then it's okay. You made it okay. She traded a romp in the sack for the lack of accountability, or the accountability that you're going to let her slide with. The next day, you call her up, you act like nothing ever happened, and you ask her, and you act like y'all haven't even had the. When she brings up the past, when she brings up the breakup, or again, you go, listen, I thought we talked about this already. I thought we have an understanding. Do we not have an understanding? Yeah, we have an understanding. I just felt so bad because you were so cold. But I don't care what I'm. Listen, it's not about cold or nothing. It's about these are what my non-negotiables are. Are you okay with this? And if you're okay with this, there's no sense in us to we don't have to continue talking about it. Because if we continue talking about it, then I can also, the subtext of that is that you don't understand when I said this is what I need from you. If you can't give me that, then we can go back to not talking again, and we can go our separate ways. She's like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. Well, then let's move on. People make mistakes. People disagree. We're trying to find what the sweet spot is. We've gone through this bump. Now we move on. So now you're not only being honest about what your non-negotiables are, but you are also being benevolent about it. You're not somebody that's holding grudges. You're not somebody who's going to be vindictive. You go, this is a problem we've dealt. And so you start to set the premise for how you are treated in the relationship. I will no longer, I'm not going to be treated this way. You've agreed to it. So now the next time she does that, the relationship is over. And you've made it clear that that is the case. And then I go, and then beware to have her smash you till every day for the next month. And I'll tell you why. Because you are exhibiting masculinity and strength and value without being abusive. A lot of guys who are like, when you hear women will say, I love the bad boys. It's not that, and well, I shouldn't say it's not always the bad boys, because you have women who are toxic, who are looking for abuse. We have men who come from households where their mother was abusive, where they want an abusive relationship. They want to be in an abusive relationship. But for the most part, the attraction of the bad boys is the fact that they're decisive, the fact that they're clear, the fact that they're honest, the fact that they're openly will say what they want and they know what their value is. That is the thing that women find attractive. It's not just being a bad boy. I mean, it could be too, but on the subtext of it is that you are decisive. You understand what your value is, and you're not willing to negotiate your non-negotiables, and you understand that your happiness is important. And in that, and I say this all the time, is men, you have to put your happiness first. The reason why you have to put your happiness first is because as a man who's in a relationship, in a marriage, in a relationship, you're not a happy man if your woman is not happy. So part of your obligation as a man is to make sure that your woman is satisfied. If she's not satisfied, then what are we doing? So, your happiness includes her happiness, where at times her happiness will not include yours. Now, if you have children, she has that same dynamic with her child. Her child means the most to her. No matter what, she's willing to make those, for the most part, she's willing to make those sacrifices. But she's not willing to make those same sacrifices for you in a relationship. Whereas men look at it as the whole entire unit, and they need to work in the context of that. Naturally, the next day she said, well, what, I mean, you were so mean to me. He goes, wait a minute, listen, didn't we not talk about this yesterday? She goes, yes. He goes, did we agree? Do you have a problem with the agreement that we make? She goes, no, I'm fine with it. He says, well, then why are we talking about it? She was like, okay. And then he had some of the best sex for the next 2 months because he was being somebody who was authentic, credible, and empathetic, but still maintaining a framework of confidence and knowing what his self-worth was. They eventually got married. They had a kid. And this was a good friend of mine, like a good comedy friend. And then he didn't invite me to the wedding, right? Because he had reverted back to the punk ass simping stuff he was doing before. And she didn't want me at the wedding because she was a liar, because she was manipulative, because she was passive aggressive, because she was a mess. And she instead of taking the responsibility for the fact that she had been abusive to this guy who like, she contributed nothing to the relationship. Was like, he was a reputable comic. She was somebody who was talking about writing for television, never got around to it. She ended up marrying him, having kids, and then she ended up controlling his life by not inviting me, the guy who caused them to get married in the first place, the guy who emphasized the thing that he most found attractive about, what she most found attractive about him was basically my advice. And now he's a henpecked Harry, where I shouldn't say Harry because that refers to Harry. He's a henpecked Henry. And she runs his life now. And we're not really friends, where I wouldn't lift a finger if I wouldn't say that, because if he called me and asked me for advice, I'm an idiot. I probably would help him anyway. But yeah, that's basically what happened. Phone lines are open, 929-269-4922. You can call in. Anybody from TikTok who's listening who wants to call in, any question you want to ask, the number is 929-269-4922. You can call again. Let me give it to you one more time. 929-269-4922. That's 929-269-4922. Or if you want a one-on-one consultation, book a session at DanteNero.com. Click on consult. Hold on. Let's get this.
Okay.
Jay, what's up? Where you calling from?
Oh, it's K. K-A-Y. I'm calling from East Orange, New Jersey.
Oh, my cousins were from East Orange, right up from Orange Park.
Yeah, Illtown.
Yeah. They live on South Harrison now.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah. How can I help you, Kay?
Okay, so I'm trying to make this concise. Well, basically, I'll just ask my question up front. So my question is, how do I go about restoring a man's pride or his masculinity after it's been damaged? And I'll give you some context.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is bad. Okay, so basically, me and the guy that I'm dating, we've been dating for 3 months. We were having a conversation, and it got a bit sexual, I will say. And he sent me a picture of a sex position that he saw online.
Okay.
And not to get too deep into the conversation, but he basically said something about he told me that, oh, I have to watch your moves.
Okay.
And then I told him, I said, no, like, you shouldn't be focusing on watching me. You should be focusing on thinking about Oprah or dead bodies in your head.
Oh,
and
okay,
it went
wait.
downhill
So
from
he has a problem coming too quick? Is that what it is?
I was jokingly implying that, yes.
Okay, is that what you actually meant by it?
That's exactly what I meant.
Okay, so he got too excited and he came too much. It came too quickly.
Habitually, yes. It's not just a one-off.
Okay. All right. So and you think that this is because he's been emasculated or something like that?
Well, I don't know why he's finishing so fast. I just think that, well, not even think, I know that me saying that, oh, you got to think about Oprah and dead bodies in your head while we're intimate, he did not like that. And it caused a strain on our relationship. And in hindsight, that was actually pretty bad. And I'm just wondering how to go about fixing, because I understand I kind of like wounded his pride and his ego.
Let me ask you this. Habitually he comes too quick, yes?
Correct.
Okay. And this has been going three months, right?
Yeah.
How long? How many? I mean, do you mind me telling how long have y'all been intimate, or how many times have y'all been intimate?
How many times? I can't even call it. I don't. I would just say 10. I really don't know.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you this, Kay.
Okay.
Is having somebody who is not able to satisfy you sexually, is that a non-negotiable?
I want to say yes, but I also feel like that can be worked on.
Well, yeah, but here's my thing to you, and this is great that you're calling. I want to appreciate that you're calling, because the reality is this gives me an opportunity to kind of expand on my content, because of the fact that it is not your responsibility to build his confidence or his manhood. It is also not your responsibility to be with somebody that is going to not satisfy you sexually. Okay? So what I'm saying is you're hoping, your hope is that this is a one-off, but I would say honestly, from your own words, you're saying that it's a habitual problem. Yes?
Correct. Yes, correct.
Okay, and you like this guy. I can tell you like this guy. Yes?
I definitely do. That's why I was trying to figure out how I can go about patching things up.
So there's nothing to patch up. The fact that is he aware that he's coming too fast, or have you been like hiding that from him as well?
To be honest, we never had I never initiated that conversation. I'm sure now he's aware, but he hasn't been too pleased with me since.
Yeah, I don't care if he's been pleased. You haven't been pleased with him either. Like you're having sex with somebody who's a two-pump Charlie, and you're not fulfilled.
Well, that's the thing. Since that happened, well, I'll just say this. Since that conversation, we haven't been intimate since. It's like we had the conversation and he says, like, we had an understanding after the conversation, but it seems as though I'm being like punished. Like it seems.
Oh, well, you gotta, this is absurd. I mean, you're dealing with a child who literally is, he wants to be the boss, but he don't want to pay the cost. And he's also not being mature enough to have a conversation with you. And if he's not going to have this conversation and he's not going to have sex with you and how long has it been since y'all had sex since that statement?
The last time was November 16th.
Yeah, this is getting crazy. Come on, Kay. You know you can't go on like this because of his insecurity. What you can do is you can tell him that you really, really like him and that this is a problem, but that he can trust you and that we can work on something. You know, there's some things that he can buy. I know there's some stuff on Hims that that kind of desensitize so that it doesn't come too quick. Like he's mad at you because he's coming too quick. It's just unfair to you.
Yes, but I'm looking. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't like that. Yes, that is a problem for me. But I'm looking less at him and more at me in this instance.
Why?
You know, the joke in hindsight, and this is just me looking back, it was a little bit hurtful.
I get it. I tried to, but you know what was hurtful? That you had slept with this guy 10 times and then he came too quick and you haven't been satisfied all the times that you're sleeping with him. Does he go down on you?
Probably it only happened probably once.
Yeah, this is not good. And I get that you might like him, but here's what there's something that I say. When you buy a house, you got to buy it for what it's worth, not what it was worth 10 years ago, not what it potentially could be worth 10 years from now. You got to buy it for what the price is right now. And the price, what he's offering right now, is somebody who can't sexually satisfy you. And whoever he's been with prior to this has either not told him, was fine with it, or is dishonest with him. And now he's willing to punish you because he's inadequate. You mind me asking how old you are?
How old? I'm 25 and he's 30.
Okay, so here's my thing. This is what's we need to understand what's on the table. And what's on the table is, let's say you end up with this guy and you end up married with him for 10 years, 15 years. And every time that you have sex with him, he comes quick and you don't get to finish and are you going to be okay with that?
No, I'm not going to be okay.
Okay, but understand this, that's what's on the table. So if you really like him, you have to have a conversation with him. You have to have a conversation. And if he's not mature enough to have this conversation, you got to let it go. He's not a kid. He's 30 years old. So you're telling me nobody ever told him that he comes too fast? Or you just got bomb-ass booty that just make, you know what I mean? Maybe it's just super juicy. I don't know. But that is a good point, Rocky. He could jerk it before he pulls up. Does he have a hard time getting an erection?
No problem with that.
Okay, so maybe if he jerked off before, that might help it. There's also things that can desensitize him, so it's so that it gives you an opportunity. But you gotta understand something, okay? You cannot be with somebody. This is the crazy thing, that we get into this position where we like people and we're willing to make these sacrifices, or willing to make these compromises, but we're honestly not willing to make those compromises forever. You have to understand that this is what you're signing up for. And the fact that you're liking him, I understand that you may have, look, first of all, you probably should call him and apologize for the comment, right?
Oh, I did. Immediately I did.
Okay. And what was his response? Other than punishing you and not giving you sex?
I mean, initially he kept saying that it was okay, and like an hour later he said that, that really pissed me off, and we had a conversation about it.
Okay, and so he's still did you hear what I was saying before about the fact that people, people make these representations and then they want to blame, because they feel inadequate, they want to blame you for you being an asshole. And don't get me wrong. I mean, you were not perfect in this situation. Probably shouldn't have made the statement, but understand something. In relationships, there's two things that you will always have to do. One is give forgiveness and ask for forgiveness. Nobody is the fact that somebody can't give forgiveness and moves on is the audacity to think that you are so perfect that you're never going to make a mistake, right? And if you're going to have a relationship and you seem like a sweet girl and you seem like you really, because you're worrying about this dude, right? And he's punishing you because he can't do the job. Now, I'm not saying you have to present him to that, but you have to have this conversation about what your needs are. You have to be as important as he thinks he is to himself. And if he's not willing to have that conversation and be an adult about this, right, then he's not worth the time that you're spending with him. And I know that's harsh. I know you may not be at a place right now where you're ready to move on. But understand something, this is not going to change. It's not your it is your responsibility to apologize when you've been cold-hearted or said something that was insensitive. It is not your responsibility for him to be the man that he needs to be. And then beyond that, the fact that you're even willing to have a conversation and try different things and yada, 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 whatever, right? And he's mad at you and he's punishing you by withholding sex. How does that turn out good? You understand what I'm saying, Kay? How does that, unless you're dooming yourself to be unhappy for the rest of your life? You feel me?
I hear you.
I know that's hard. It's hard to hear, right?
It is.
And everybody, look at the comments. Everybody's going, you're a real sweetheart. Like there's so many, this is the on the internet, there's always some woman talking about, what do you bring to the table? I am the table. And here you are, you got a dude who he can't pay the cost to be the boss. And you're calling me, asking me how you can build his self-esteem. And even if you build his self-esteem, it still doesn't mean you're going to be satisfied sexually. And it sounds to me like sex is important to you, yes?
It's pretty important, yeah.
So you got to ask yourself, is it okay that I'm not going to be satisfied for the rest of my life? And if you can't say yes, which honestly, I don't expect you to. Understand, I'm putting it to you so you could see the big picture, but if you're not okay and sex is important to you, you gotta let it go. But before you let it go, you gotta have a conversation with him. Because here's what's happening. He wants you to tiptoe around his ego, right? While you don't even get what you want out of this. And you're not even getting from him the empathy that it would take to say, man, I know it was kind of fast, or even if he didn't know, I've never had a hard problem before, but how can I, how can I do this to make this better for you? You cannot date somebody that you want to make happy and they're not willing to make you happy. And he's sending you different positions and stuff, and he can't do the first one right. Okay, here's something. I get a lot of men who call in, and everybody wants a threesome. And I'm always like, yeah, you want a threesome? You can't have sex with one girl properly. How you gonna do two?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that you're being unreasonable. Yeah, okay, so you made an off-color compliment, but you apologized immediately. You had to, and now you're being punished? This dude's a clown, Kay. He's a clown. I know you like him, but he's a clown, and he's selfish, and he's egotistical, and now he's putting you through the ringer because he's inadequate. It's just not fair.
I just had the understanding that men are a bit, well, in hindsight, of course, that men are a bit sensitive when it comes to stuff like that. So I was taking it pretty hard.
Yeah, you apologize. I hear it in your voice that you are sincerely sorry for the statement. Yes? Am I wrong in saying that?
No, you're definitely correct.
Okay, so how sorry you gonna be? And for how long you gonna be sorry?
So, sorry, just one more question. So in the future, what will be a more respectful way to go about addressing something like that? Something so sensitive.
Okay, there's no way that you don't know that answer. Because you know not to make a comment, a sly comment. You would say, listen, I need to talk to you. I really like you. I really like your company. I really like being around you. But it's just I'm really not satisfied sexually, and maybe what's going on. You're gonna have to have a conversation. I'm gonna tell you, most men do not have the emotional maturity or acuity to have that conversation. Most guys are gonna panic. Is this something that you have a lot? That you have a problem with this a lot? Okay, you got some
like
bomb
him,
ass.
right?
You got some bomb ass pussy. Is that what's going on? You got some bomb ass gash. Like, stop. Is that what it is?
I don't even know what to say.
So this has happened before.
With other partners?
Yeah. You got some. You are stricken with some bomb ass pussy. Have you had sex partners that you've enjoyed?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so and they was like it's some bomb ass pussy too, right?
So I've heard.
All right, so I mean, look, I understand that you're shy, but even your modesty you deserve a better dude. I'm sorry to say, you just deserve a better dude. Big shout out to Jared Gray, sent me $10. Thank you on the Cash App. Thank you. Yeah, you deserve a better dude. And you can't help it. You got the wet.
I really appreciate your time. Thanks for answering my question.
Okay, but understand something. You do understand you deserve better than this, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and I understand that if you're not just quite ready, but in my opinion, I think you got to sit down. You got to have a real conversation with him. I mean, there's things there's sprays and stuff that he can make it like desensitize it. He could try to masturbate before that might desensitize it. But if this is you're not going to live like this. You know what I mean? You don't want to be somebody who is a sexual being who now you have to not be what you want to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
I had somebody that I was dating that just really didn't like a lot of sex. And I was like, yo, I'm the wrong dude to be with. Because if I like you and I care about you, I'm goofy. I'm gonna kiss you in your mouth. I'm a F you with your foot in my mouth like it's White Castle hamburger. Like I'm a dirty dude. Like so but you understand what I'm saying? It's like I'm gonna take your feet, put it in my mouth, and smash it, and I'm like yum 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 yum. But if you got somebody who's not comfortable like that, right? You just don't match. Sometimes you don't match. So you like certain things about him. You're 25. You're a sweetheart. You gotta have a conversation. And to be honest, Kay, I just don't think the fact that he's already in his feelings about his shortcomings, I don't see how he has this conversation and deals with it mature wise. Unless he likes you as much as you like, if he's got to like you more than he likes his ego. You feel me?
I hear you.
It's just what it is. Stop hurting them boys.
Just one more question.
Sure.
I've always been curious. I know that, I've heard from Godfrey's podcast that you're of Caribbean descent. Is that correct?
Well, so my dad is from Antigua. Well, my dad's grandfather, my dad's dad is from Antigua. My grandmother on my father's side is actually half white, half Irish, half black. At a time when you couldn't be half black, so my grandmother grew up in an orphanage because you couldn't be half caste, as they would put it, right? My mom is descendants of slaves from Virginia, but my grandfather is actually 100% Monacan, or one of the Sioux Nation. So I'm half Native American, half African American, half coconut, half so I'm coconut and cornbread, right? And so I'm a little mix of everything, but which is great because I understand the whole perspective, you know. But my dad grew up in Harlem. My grandma, for all intents and purposes, he was a black dude that grew up in Harlem, born and raised in Harlem. So but I mean, I'm a little mixed up, but I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. But you sound like a sweetheart, mama. You gotta, you know, I mean, it's great that you're showing, I appreciate you calling. I hope you listen more often, like and subscribe so that you can hear when I'm up. But I mean, I really appreciate the fact that you called, because I mean, I think that a lot of times guys are thinking that girls like you don't exist. Somebody who's thoughtful and considerate, and you know, you know, it's just nice. If you look at it in the chat's talking about you. They're loving you because they're like, she's sweet, you know. And you ain't gonna have no problem, trust me. But if you really think it's worth it, have the conversation and see how it turns. And if he's still holding you hostage, holding that good hostage, you don't want that good to spoil. You gotta use it. So,
oh my goodness.
Okay.
I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
I appreciate you.
Love the show, by the way. Love the show.
I appreciate you more. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good night.
Night. You see, fellas, they out there. I'm telling you, they out there. More than you think. We got to stop listening to the broken the broken chicks who keep telling you that everybody's broken and everybody's trying to get paid, or they're out there. There's good people. And you know how I know there's good people? Because every time I go live, everybody in my comments, everybody that listens to me, everybody that I run, there's good people. That just we're not the you know, there's an old saying that says the empty cart makes the most noise, you know, and people with substance and people that are asking, how can I be better, or how can I do better, or how can I be a better human being? That is really more people than we know. And I think we're bombarded with idiots who are intentionally stupid. And look up, when y'all get a chance, look at the Dunning-Kruger effect. Dunning-Kruger effect is crazy. And there's an energy that I have in the comments, and in the people who listen, and the people I run into the streets, and even different states, and even when I go overseas, people know the podcast and they know me, and they know that I am approaching life with honesty and concern and empathy and truth and credibility. And I think that we just need more of this. This is not just about relationships. This is a movement that I think, if it catches on, could change things, could change the world. You know, if we just are logical, are intelligent, or seek knowledge and truth, and are honest and authentic and credible and empathetic, I think it would change the whole world, you know? Phone lines are open. I'll take one more call. If not, I'm going to shut it down. Man, let me shout out Matt, all of the above, Xavier in the chat, Brody in the chat, Basilios in the chat, Demetrius Lee, let's see who else. Rocky the Hooligan in the chat. You played yourself. Kevin the Maker Reviews, Melange Automotive, Xavier put the wet sign down. She got the wet. Angie in the building, Brody. Who else is in here? Anyway, you know the regulars. It is with send me some money. Let me see who else is in. Okay. I think I covered everybody, almost everybody. If I didn't, I'll make 1,000 bottles of baby oil. I should have known he was in here. Yeah, I think we're gonna shut it down, y'all. I'm exhausted and I got packing to do and all kinds of shit. So Doobie, thank you for the $5. Jared, thank you for the $5. Xavier, thank you for the money. As you said, I appreciate it. Road Bike 5, Renee Hernandez, thank you for listening. Ollie Per. Yeah. Thank y'all so much. I'm gonna shut this shit down. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm heading over the pond. But just make sure y'all like and subscribe and hit the bell so that if I can square things away where I can go live while I'm overseas, I absolutely will. If I can, I'll put a message up on YouTube that you'll be able to see. I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all to death, man. Thank you so much. GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, what would Dante do? Sexual Revolution is being podcasted. Don't forget, if you need a consultation, even if I'm overseas, I'm still doing the consultations. I'm doing them over WhatsApp. So there's that. One-on-one consultations at DanteNero.com. You need me to book a session. Also, don't forget the Patreon. Bonus content, gaming technique, direct mail access to Patreon. You get direct email access to me at patreon.com/manschool202. Instagram, all of that stuff. Follow at DanteNero.com. Yo, I love y'all, man. Peace. Y'all are the best fans ever. The absolute best. Peace.